The way that our current culture is structured is not at all conducive to having the body and the health that we truly want to have. And it's critical that you begin to come to understand this. Because if you start to take a look around, you can see that having an incredibly fit body, having the health, the vitality that we truly want to have is just not a societal norm. It's not something we commonly see. So how do we begin to get leverage and transform our body the way that we want it to be in a world that seems really upside down and backwards when it comes to this? So what we're going to do is take a look at the pioneering work that's been brought forth by Dr. Daniel Goleman about the newly discovered social brain. Now, for many years, neuroscientists were studying the brain of one individual at a time while they were interacting with their environment or different stimuli. Now, what's been done recently is studying the brains of two individuals that are interacting with each other. And what was found is that totally new circuitry that wasn't even known about was firing in the brain when two people interact. Okay, this is a profound discovery, and what was found was that we had what are known as mirror neurons. And these mirror neurons basically simulate any action that you are watching. Anything that you're around, there's a part of your brain that's simulating you doing this. So for example, as you're watching me, there's a part of your brain that's simulating yourself speaking. There's a part of your brain simulating yourself doing what I'm doing. And this is how we really come to learn. This is how we really come to evolve in our environment. These mirror neurons basically put in a simulation so that we really become our environment. Okay, this is very, very important information to understand. Now, we've heard this from our great teachers that you are who you hang around, you are your environment, and this has basically come to a whole new level of understanding. This is real. This is very real. So if you're watching, violent movies all the time, you're going to have a tendency towards violence, towards violent thoughts, because there's a part of your brain that's simulating you doing that, okay? And this is going on all the time. So when you're around another individual or a group of individuals, you're picking up everything that they are doing, feeling, or intending, okay? You're picking that up. And we all know this intuitively, that we are really all connected, and we have those good vibes and bad vibes when we're around different people. We really pick that stuff up, and it really depends on how sensitive you are to really understanding this. And the same thing goes with other people. They can pick up what you're doing, feeling, and intending. We can all pick this stuff up on a subtle level, but it's a very real level. And our brain is recording this information and teaching us. And this is the way that we really learn, okay? So now to take this information and really scale it up, it's important that you begin to consciously surround yourself with the environment that you want to be in, to consciously surround yourself with the people, the circumstances that you want to come to be, that you want to come to experience in your life. Now, sometimes you hear from different so-called experts about getting better health to get a friend who needs you and you need them to work out together in this whole thing. Now, it's important to have community. But if you're working with somebody who is in the same situation that you're in, that's not pulling you up. That's both of you pulling at each other, and it's a struggle. Rather than getting yourself around individuals and circumstances that really make you grow, that part of your brain that's recording that information and simulating yourself doing it sees that there's something else possible, and it's up-leveling you subconsciously, and it's becoming your conscious expression. This is not airy-fairy talk. This is a very real thing. So this is why, in essence, I created the model site, the Shawn Stevenson Model membership site, to really be able to tune in and plug yourself into that information that continuously up-levels you, that gives you the edge, that gives you more motivation, and to look to what's next. How can I grow? How can I change? How can I evolve? And not being stuck in the same old pity party and being in this kind of, get relationship with everyone else in your life, when what's most important is getting yourself around the environment that you want to be. Now, I cannot stress this enough. This has been the greatest transformational thing in my life, is getting myself around the teachers and the teachings and the understandings and the insights, and immersing myself in that all the time until it became my very essence, my body language, the way that I think, the way that I talk, by immersing myself in those things. And it's so real. I would not have known this, many years ago, looking back, that this would come to evolve and actually express itself this way and be my life. But it's a very real thing. And this great science that's coming forth now is proof positive of that. So now to take this one step further, we're going to look to the incredible work that's been brought forth by the incredible Dr. Bruce Lipton. Dr. Bruce Lipton the author of The Biology of Belief, really was a pioneer in bringing forth the understanding of epigenetics. He's an incredible cell biologist, and really starting to understand, there was a big debate about, the genes, genes determining this about yourself, genes determining that. When come to find out that your genes are simply a blueprint. They're a blueprint. If you go and look at a blueprint for a house and you ask the architect, so what is the blueprint doing? The blueprint doesn't do anything. The architect will be like, what are you talking about? It's a blueprint, okay? What actually changes is the observer. It's the expression. It's the place that the blueprint is at, okay? And the same thing with your cells. The blueprint is found in the nucleus of your cells, which was once thought to be the brain of your cells. But what's known as enucleation, when you take the nucleus out of the cell, it's found that the cell can still survive. If you take your brain out, you can't survive. Your cells are the exact same thing as your entire body. There's nothing that your entire body does that your cells don't do. Your cells have a respiratory system, digestive system, reproductive system, nervous system. Same thing. If you take the brain out of you, you clock out. Take the brain out of the cell, the so-called brain, it still survives for up to 2 to 3 months. Nothing changes. So what was actually discovered, just to get straight to it, is that the membrane of the cell is the brain of the cell. It's how the cell reads the environment and adjusts to the things that are going on with the cell. It reads the environment. And the same thing with you, okay? Your nervous system, your skin is the outermost part of you, okay? And you're reading your environment constantly, and it's telling your entire physiology what to do. Telling them what proteins need to be built, what different amino acid chains, what enzymes need to be built, how to digest your food. You're reading your environment constantly, and it's part of your nervous system, okay? Your skin is a part of your nervous system. So what this all ties to, again, is that your entire physiology is reading your environment, and the information that comes in through your cell membranes is determining which genes get expressed. For just one gene that you have, there are over 30,000 different expressions that can come from that one gene, okay? Your genes are not fixed. You're not fixed. These genes are expressed depending upon the environment that you're in. Depending on the environment that you create within yourself determines which genes get expressed. You have genes for vibrant, radiant health, longevity, absolute beauty and consciousness, and you also have genes for, dis-ease and sickness and lethargy, and all those things. Those so-called negative expressions are just telling you that you need to change. It's not telling you you're deficient on a drug. The drug is not what's missing from you. Drugs mask symptoms, okay? Getting yourself in the right balance, the right harmony, getting yourself in the right environment is what's conducive to your genes expressing themselves properly in the way that you want them to be. Now, to bring this all together for you, I'm going to give you an example. You take some iron filings, okay? You take some iron filings and you scatter them out across the desk. If you bring a magnet to those iron filings, it's going to form a magnetic field, okay? The iron filing is going to line up. But if the magnet's not there, it's just going to be kind of random, okay? The same thing is going on with your body. Your body is upwards of 50 trillion cells. And the question is, how is all of my physiology being held together? It's not held together by your skin. Your skin, or your epidermis, is actually trillions of cells, and it has the appearance of being held together. But what's holding you together is a field. Just like that magnetic field is holding those iron filings together, your body's held together by an energy field. So what that looks like for you is that your cells are equivalent to the iron filings, and the magnetic field is equivalent to your magnetic field, or your energy field that's holding your 50 trillion cells together and creating you. Now, to equate that for you, it's cells plus energy field equals structure. Cells plus field equals your structure, okay? So the field is what's most important in this equation in transforming your body and transforming your health, because when you're around energy fields or environments that are conducive to vibrant health, a nurturing environment, then your body's going to have a tendency towards expressing your genes for vibrant health, great energy, vitality, and harmony. But if you're in a environment that's negative, a violent environment that's really not conducive towards your growth, that sameness, then your body's going to have a tendency towards, because if you're not growing, you're dying, towards decelerating, towards dis-ease, towards sickness, towards not having the health in the body that you want. And it's really all about the energy field, or the field that you find yourself in. Now, our great success teachers told us this, that you are who you hang around. You are your environment, you're a product of your environment. And this has never been more real than it is right now, because our science has actually proven that this is a reality. So what you want to do, what you want to really take from this, is be proactive at getting yourself around the environments that are really conducive to your growth, that are nurturing, that are positive, that are helping to uplift you, to express your fullest potential, to express the highest of your potentiality, the highest expression of your genes, okay? And removing yourself from those environments that are really detracting from that. And it's going to be tough, because our minds are really wired to link up with each other. That's what our brains are wired to do. They're hardwired to link up, okay? So it's going to be a little bit difficult to change the way that our minds function, because our minds really look for patterns. And when you start to move away from those environments and the people and the places and circumstances that have essentially been, you know, maybe unknowingly holding you back, it's going to be tough. But just to give you the heads up, it is such a beautiful life once you can be proactive and have the courage to get yourself around people, places, and circumstances that keep you immersed in love and in greatness. There's nothing more powerful that you can do in this life than to do that. And once you do that, you reach your full potential, and then you can go and pay it forward and give to those people who you really want to help, and as well as have a beautiful life yourself. But if you don't do that, it's just kind of that low-level fever, you know, that mediocrity that you are not here for. You did not sign up to be mediocre. So please take from this to be proactive, starting today. Immerse yourself in that information, the people, the circumstances that really keep you up-leveled, and that's what I'm here for as well. So take this with you and experience the best health of your life.